Welcome to Swadesi Startups Speaks, a podcast dedicated to the burgeoning startup ecosystem in India. Here, we explore the dynamic and diverse world of Indian startups, diving into the challenges, triumphs, and innovations that shape this vibrant sector. From space tech to e-commerce, and from venture capital trends to government policies, join us as we unravel the stories of India's entrepreneurial spirit and the startups that are driving the nation's technological and economic advancement. The Indian space tech industry is growing rapidly, with many startups emerging in the sector. The government's friendly policies and timely investments have contributed to this growth. The industry is expected to reach $44 billion by 2033, with a global share of 8%. AWS has signed an MOU with the Indian Space Research Organization and InSpace to support space tech innovations through cloud computing. This collaboration will provide startups, research institutes, and students with access to cutting-edge cloud technologies. The article highlights the potential of space tech startups in India, with companies like Skyroot Aerospace, Dhruva Space, and Pixel working closely with ISRO. The government's openness to private sector collaboration has created opportunities for growth in the space industry. The next article discusses the top 5 legal challenges faced by Indian startups and provides solutions to navigate them successfully. The challenges are: 1. Business incorporation complexities. Startups should choose the right business structure and ensure proper incorporation to avoid legal penalties and limited access to funding. 2. Intellectual property negligence. Startups should protect their intellectual property, including innovations, brand names, and creative works, to avoid competitors replicating their ideas or brands. 3. Data privacy and security. Startups must comply with data protection regulations to avoid hefty fines and legal action and ensure robust data security protocols. 4. Tax and labor law compliance. Startups must stay compliant with tax obligations and labor laws to avoid legal and financial trouble and ensure fair wage practices and non-discriminatory policies. 5. Contract management and negotiation. Startups should involve legal experts in drafting, reviewing, and negotiating contracts to safeguard their rights and interests and ensure all agreements align with legal standards. Amitabh Kant, India's G20 Sherpa, has urged domestic investors, including pension funds and family businesses, to invest in the country's startup ecosystem to make India a leading startup nation. Currently, almost 75–80% of startup funding comes from foreign investors, and Kant believes this needs to change. He emphasizes the importance of domestic investors participating in the ecosystem to support the growth of Indian startups. The winners of the Altair Startup Challenge 2022, a competition for startups in the aerospace and defense industry. The challenge was conducted by Altair and Startup India, and it provided mentorship and technology access to 11 finalists. The winners were selected based on their effective use of Altair technologies and the potential impact of their products. The article highlights the importance of startups in driving innovation and economic growth, and it mentions the support provided by various organizations for the challenge. Pantamath Financial Services Group has closed its India Inflection Opportunity Fund at INR 500 crore, $60 Main, after a year of raising funds. The fund will invest in pre-IPO stage startups in India and has received investments from sovereign funds, family offices, and high net worth individuals. India and the United States collaborating on a joint remote sensing satellite launch early next year. The satellite named NISAR, will enhance Earth observation capabilities and will be launched aboard India's GSLV. The collaboration is a result of discussions between ISRO and NASA, and both entities have reached a consensus on the implementing arrangement. The article also mentions the thriving space sector startups in India and the potential for future collaborations. How startups are transforming the business landscape in India, particularly in the realm of e-commerce and technology. The panelists, who are CEOs of various startups, share their experiences and insights on how they are disrupting the market and creating new opportunities. The discussion covers topics such as the importance of innovation, the role of technology, and the need for collaboration within the ecosystem. The article also highlights the impact of startups on job creation and skill development in India. According to a report by Global Data, venture capital VC funding in India has seen a significant decline in 2023, with a 38.6% drop in the number of deals and a 67.1% drop in funding value compared to the same period in 2022. Despite this decline, India remains one of the top 5 markets globally for VC funding activity, with several startups securing noteworthy funding rounds exceeding $100 million. The report highlights the resilience of the entrepreneurial spirit in India's startup ecosystem. OKX, a global crypto exchange, and its plans to strengthen its presence in India, particularly in the Web3 space. The exchange aims to foster the Web3 community, provide grants for promising projects, and collaborate with Polygon, a blockchain platform, to attract more Web3 applications to their ecosystems. OKX has already sponsored events in over 400 colleges in India to build branding and education. The article also mentions the current market situation, with global investing in Web3 startups slowing down, and the need for regulation to protect consumers while allowing innovation. OKX plans to work closely with regulators and is committed to transparency, providing monthly proof of reserves (POR) ratio against customer funds. The article concludes that with the sheer number of developers in India, the Indian ecosystem is positioned to become a significant contributor to the Web3 ecosystem globally. Agro-based startups in Tamil Nadu received Rs 3.80 crore in funding to scale up their businesses. The funds were disbursed by TNOW and NABARD at an event in Madurai. The startups will use the funds to set up processing units and expand their supply chain. The upcoming Bengaluru Tech Summit, which will bring together tech leaders, startups, investors, and research labs from over 30 countries. The summit will feature a variety of events, including a multi-track conference, an international exhibition, and B2B meetings. The event will also include a Chandrayaan-3 ISRO Industry Pavilion, showcasing India's achievements in space exploration. The summit aims to achieve net zero in the upcoming years by integrating eco-conscious practices in procurement and establishing a sustainability advisory for various stakeholders. The event promises over 75 sessions, 400 plus speakers, 350 plus startups, 600 plus exhibitors, and 20,000 plus business attendees. Thank you for tuning into Swadesi Startup Speaks. We hope these stories of ingenuity and determination inspire you to explore the dynamic and diverse world of Indian startups. Whether you're an aspiring entrepreneur, an investor, or just curious about the startup landscape, there's always something new to discover here. Join us next time for more insights and inspiring tales from the heart of India's startup ecosystem. Until then, keep innovating, keep dreaming.